Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. And today I'm reviewing Soundbox, a game by Horrible Guild, currently on Kickstarter that not that much left to go on Kickstarter, actually. I'm late to the party on this, late to the party? I'm late to the party. It's a party game. I'm late to the party. But really, I'm late to the party in this one because this is a game that ideally you're going to want at least 4 players to play it. I would say you could play it with 3, you could, but ideally you're going to want at least 4 players to play this game. And practically speaking, our group is still, the world is opening up, things are getting back to normal, but our group of people that plays games is right now still currently at 4, and one of them refuses to play a game where you are being attacked by auditory noises left, right, and center. So it took me a little bit to get this onto the table, but hopefully it's in time to still help you make a decision. So, Soundbox, what is this game? Well, if you didn't figure it out already, Soundbox is going to be a party game. And let's go through the basic sequence of play. It's a cooperative party game. You may miss that one. It's a cooperative party game where you're all on the same team, ultimately trying to basically figure out noises. Think code names. Think any of those styles of games where you have a bunch of clue cards, but rather than giving guesses, you're basically attacking each other with verbal cues in this game. See, in the game, what you're going to do is you're going to have, let's see, basic starting setup over here. You're basically trying to get your token from here all the way up to here, going along the pathway all there. You're trying to do that while not losing the health you're going to get from not guessing things correctly. So you're all on the same team trying to get points faster than you lose health, getting to here before this gets to here. That's basically how you play the game. What else do you do past that? What you're going to do is, let's pretend a 4-player game. What you're going to do is you're going to shuffle these up down here. I'm going to go ahead and put on these glasses, but I'm not actually going to put on the glasses because it'll be hard to show you what to do if I do. But let's pretend that player A is assigned that, player B is assigned that, player C is assigned that. Those are their sounds that they have to get from this row of 10 cards. They're going to reveal them. I'm not going to see them. I'll have my glasses on or be looking, covered, any of that stuff. And they have 3, 7, and 10, which is going to be wrestling, time travel, and giant monster attack. Okay, I'm going to have my glasses on. They're going to go this, and meanwhile, the players are all going to simultaneously start making noises with roughly 13 seconds to go. So let's pretend I'm the player doing wrestling, and remember, this is simultaneous. The wrestling player is going, okay, meanwhile, someone else is going, where we have time travel, that's Wonder Woman. That's not the TARDIS. What's the TARDIS noise again? What's the TARDIS noise? I can't remember the TARDIS noise. Someone's looking for the Wonder Woman card. That's what happens in this game. Someone else is doing giant monster attack. That one's probably a little easier with rah, boom, boom, rah. I really shouldn't do party games on this channel. I end up looking a bit ridiculous. But that said, player goes ahead and takes off their glasses. 13 seconds, 3 simultaneous noises going on. They take off their glasses. They look around for the person going, and they handily, with no, first of all, they pick out giant monster attack. Great. The person reveals, yes, 10. Awesome. You're good. We got giant monster attack. That's great. Boom. That's off to the side. 10 is revealed. These 2 are still face down. The person goes ahead and somehow, even though he couldn't find Wonder Woman, they did realize that you were trying to do a TARDIS noise, and they're like, time travel? Boom. Reveal that. Awesome. Excellent. Good job. Good job. Sadly, at this point, what's going to happen next is they're looking at the cards and they're like, and they're like, indigestion. That was clearly indigestion, obviously. It wasn't indigestion, it was wrestling. I'm sorry, I can't do my noises the way you'd want them to. And so with the guess incorrectly, what they do at that point is the round's over. As soon as you guess incorrectly, no different than Codenames or any games like that, you're immediately going to end the round. We're going to advance 2 on the track because we got 2 cards correct, but we're going to lose the health on the unguessed tokens, moving down that much health. You can see the tokens will vary in health. The tokens will range going up to 10 over here, and as they get higher and higher, tokens have different degrees of health on them. From there, you're going to move on to the next round, refilling cards in these slots that were taken up. And additionally, if you've unlocked more tokens, if you've moved your token up on the track, unlocking more, you're going to make the game harder by having more selections. Now we're doing a zombie apocalypse. I mean, I guess it could do probably still go with indigestion. It is what it is. But you're going to go ahead and go through that sequence, basically trying to go through round at a time, taking turns being the guesser, while players simultaneously are guessing what you're trying to do, all making noise simultaneously at the exact same time to hopefully get your message across, to get your noises across to the other players, but hoping that they don't pick indigestion, because almost any noise that I try to make sounds like indigestion. Except for Spaceship Battle. That's going to be... Someone just picked teleportation. You see how this goes here. Bit of a mess, but that's exactly the kind of party game vibe you're looking for. So, Soundbox, what do I think? That's the general view of the game. A few other small things to note. There's going to be these double sound tokens you're going to unlock. Double sound tokens obligate players to take 2 sound cards And in those 13 seconds, a player is going to have to, not all the players, one player is going to and they're going to have to do 2 noises at the same time. You don't have to at the same time. You can alternate, but now you're down to 6.5 seconds per card. That's even harder if you thought 13 was hard. Additionally, once you move the token down over here, you'll lose the double sound cards. So effectively, the better you're doing, you get these penalties, but then the worse you're doing, you lose those penalties. You're trying to juggle all that while trying to get your little Pac-Man token all the way up to the top of this game. And that ultimately is Soundbox in a nutshell. Overall, Soundbox is going to be the exact kind of party game that, I mean, it's exactly what it sounds like. Honestly, if this game sounds intriguing. If this game sounds intriguing to you, it probably is. And if it sounds like a nightmare, well, it may or may not be, because this game is going to be a bit of a verbal assault. If you do not like noises shoved in your face, left, right, and center, while people at the table are making a ton of noise in your face, I mean, this game is an auditory overload. There's no question. Remember that 4th player I was talking about? She's someone who doesn't like a lot of noise, and this game is going to give you a lot of noise. That is something to be mindful of in terms of determining if Soundbox is or isn't for you. Past that, it's going to have all the good hallmarks of good party games that do last. It's going to have that aspect of, just like other games that kind of combine things. When you have a game like Taboo, the difference between Taboo and Codenames, kind of side tangent for Soundbox, is Taboo gives you 1 card at a time, and Codenames gives you a ever-evolving combination of cards that makes it harder to figure out. It's more of a puzzle when you're given a whole combination that you have to work with as opposed to a single card at a time. Soundbox is going to have that at the same time. When you have teleportation along with time travel, I don't know what you do. You want to help me out on that? Now, you do have time to think through your sounds. Those 13 seconds, that's to make your sound. You do have time to compose yourself, to think, what do I want to do? How do I want to make a noise that will give you the teleportation sound without giving you time travel? That's a puzzle that I can't solve in the few minutes I have for this video, but someone can solve that puzzle. So it's going to have that combination, the combination of noises, the combination of cards will evoke a different puzzle every single time, will evoke a different combination of bizarre noises that multiple people are making at the same time in order to basically keep the experience fresh game to game. Now, please keep in mind, I can only comment on the 4-player mode. I've only played this at 4 players. I have not been able to play with more. I was barely able to play with 4. And playing with 3, the problem is at that point, you could have 2 people making noises. It kind of, I haven't played it. I imagine it's a lesser experience when you have only 2 people making noise. Like many party games, this is going to thrive on the laughter of the people around the table as they go through the game, as they make their noises, as you scream at the person to your left. That sounds like Indigestion. Alex, what's wrong with you? So it is going to thrive under a party game atmosphere. Too little is going to be, like I said, I imagine less of an experience, and too much you're going to have to be careful because it could result in auditory overload. Just, I mean, not from a stance of if you don't like auditory overload, but from a stance of you just won't be able to hear things with 5 different noises going on. Now the game does give you 2 sets of glasses and a set of rules for having too many players, so you could play around with that. But past that, this is going to be a cooperative party game that results in laughter, in funny noises, in a lot of noise around the general room, and a bit of a strategy puzzle as you go through it. Now, like many party games, I would argue that I am less concerned with the winning and losing aspect of the game so much as the sequencing. When you have a game like, I don't know, when you have a game like Codenames, I apologize for referencing Codenames in every single one of these, or Monikers, there we go. Codenames or Monikers, when you have that competitive competition aspect, you just keep playing through it, and then you kind of add up points, but ultimately it's about the experience. Similarly, this one is going to be primarily about the experience. You could go through the entire game and track who wins or loses, or you could just play 5-6 rounds and just do it as long as it's fun and move on from there. This is a party game that is about the laughter of people trying to simultaneously make the noise for Tsunami, Typewriter, and digging for treasure at the same time. It is going to be a bit of experience. Overall, Codenames for me is going to fall, not Codenames, jeez, see, this is the problem with doing this. Overall, Soundbox for me is going to be a 3 out of 5 for me. It is a party game that is, it produces all the things you're classically looking for a party game. It doesn't have the same ranking as some other party games for me because it doesn't have that clever feel that, again, Codenames and Monikers and all those things. Monikers is a bit about the evolving nature of this little secret jokes you line up with one another, and Codenames is about the cleverness of trying to find a cohesive clue. Soundbox is less about the cleverness and more about just the crazy fun that will happen when you have 4 players shouting at each other's faces, you know, just different noises all at the same time. That's basically been Soundbox. Apologies for the lateness of this video, but hopefully it is, like I said, in time to help you make a decision. This is on Kickstarter currently. I'll throw a link down below. Until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co., and I hope you have a good one.